During the period of remote and blended learning, we know that every school will have given considerable thought to safeguarding for students, staff and families. As guidance and practice develops, we're providing some regular updates we hope you'll find useful, whether your role is teacher, designated safeguarding lead or senior leader. Please check our newsletter and blogs for latest information. Safeguarding training can be found elsewhere, and this deck simply highlights some key points and sources of information, support and guidance. Safeguarding needs to be at the heart of all blended remote and home learning. From February 2021, do refer to the DfE Remote Learning Safeguarding Advice, alongside Keeping Children Safe in Education 2020, including Annex C or your equivalent national guidance. Consultation has now taken place on Keeping Children Safe in Education 2021, and it's possible that the new version, coming into force in September 2021, will contain updates and changes in format. Platforms and tools can be made more easily accessible through shortcuts such as PIN codes and QR codes, but we need to remember that those should not be made publicly available to avoid unwanted access. Before rolling out a new tool or platform, it's usually beneficial to become familiar with the specifics such as settings after a pilot phase, to be better informed about minimizing risks and finding out how students and families will be able to best access what they need in a variety of circumstances in and out of school. Regular reminders and reviews of existing codes of conduct and behaviour expectations for adults as well as children may be helpful, especially in a new situation or when using a new platform, tool or function. Schools generally have relevant policies and agreements, but it's worth reviewing these regularly, that is, annually or more frequently if necessary, to check whether they cover the current situation in language that is accessible to all. Whatever your role, everyone has a responsibility to promote safeguarding and to report any concerns in a timely way. The next slides highlight some sites with useful advice applicable widely. The DfE site outlines expectations from the government during the period of the COVID crisis, and advice is updated from time to time. Southwest Grid for Learning, as part of the UK Safer Internet Centre, has issued 2 helpful posters of reminders for remote learning and also blended learning. London Grid for Learning has an extensive DigiSafe site, newsletter and blog, freely accessible wherever your school is situated. The NSPCC is well established as a provider of safeguarding support, education and training, and updated its advice at the start of this year. Much more extensive than the 2 sites featured on this slide. Most schools will already be familiar with the Think You Know resources for students, staff and families. Over the past year, many additional resources have been produced to help families at home, as well as schools. In this section, we highlight some considerations for school-owned devices that are taken off-site. Clear guidance and expectations for users is often established through an acceptable use statement or an agreement. It's worth giving thought to how these are communicated, as well as a process for updating them when necessary. These points are from the Southwest Grid for Learning example policy that is often referenced, but there may be specific local points that need to be made depending on systems and circumstances. The following slides highlight sites where specific reports can be made. Of course, schools must follow their own safeguarding procedures that should already be in place. Childline's direct support is designed to be accessible for children and young people, but also contains useful information for adults. The CEOP report function is for specific child protection circumstances. Report harmful content covers a range of circumstances. The Free Professionals Online Safety Helpline from the UK Safer Internet Centre is accessible by phone or email Monday to Friday and can help staff with any online issues that they may face in their professional roles. This section highlights a small sample of the many helpful resources provided for parents and families by organisations such as CEOP and Parent Zone through Parent Info, NSPCC NetAware, Internet Matters, and the UK Safer Internet Centre.